Hello, Clement29 here.
Angelrin and I.
So, the trailer for Melody of Memories had come out, and it sparked a lot of conversation about what's going on in the new game. So, I thought it'd be fun to go through and talk a little bit about it. And I thought, because Angelrin is the resident Kingdom Hearts expert, she's the one who got me into the series. I figured I can't do this.
I succeeded.
Yeah, I can't do this without her because her knowledge of Kingdom Hearts vastly outweighs mine. So I figured we'd go through like talking about the trailer and just discussing it really. So, okay, yeah, this is the Dark Road stuff about Xehanort's backstory and the other.
Yeah, all this stuff, the expansion, like
Yeah,
in the mobile game.
Yeah, which I mean, this is cool and all. I mean, I'm not really gonna play it. I'll just wait for them to do something like the back cover movie, like what they did with.
I'll admit I'm not as invested as the mobile game. While it's got interesting backstory, I would rather them just to do kind of like what they did with Recoded, where they take a mobile game, revamp it into like an actual game, and where it's more streamlined and more. And it's just, you know, I prefer the way Coded was done as Recoded.
And
I would love like a reunion cross type of game just to like have my hands on something.
Well, yeah,
like
and
that.
it streamlines everything in the story and actually makes it a little bit easier. And it makes it a lot easier to actually play and get a hold of instead of having to go through all the mobile stuff.
And all the updates are really tiring.
Oh yeah, and you have to wait and wait and wait.
It's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it's interesting to see like getting more backstory on Xehanort.
Oh, absolutely.
Because especially now that they've introduced him as a young kid, and you start seeing a little bit more of him on Destiny Island, it's like, okay, well, I mean, it's neat to learn a little bit more
and then
about
when we
it.
got that art when that first came out too, that looked really cool. Ericus and young Ericus, young and Xehanort, all the other Keyblade wielders with them, and of course everyone wants to learn more about them. And I love how soon as like that stuff was revealed, because there was always a prevailing theory. Whenever Ericus, when Kingdom Hearts 3 was like first, they started showing young Ericus and young Xehanort. There was like a theory propping up that there was like an original like trio, because you know how there's like always a trio.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like, and everyone's theory was that Kyrie's grandma, getting tongue-tied, was part of this trio. So I love that as soon as this art was revealed, people were just like, which one of you is Kyrie's grandma?
But yeah, I mean, you see these other new characters. I mean, it's interesting to see, like, it wasn't just Xehanort and Ericus, that's just who they showed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 flashbacks. But yeah, I mean, this is interesting, and I'm sure the story will be interesting seeing more of Xehanort, but that's not exactly why we're here.
No. What we're here is
for the first Kingdom Hearts rhythm action game. And this...
Well, I mean, you can tell Nomura's wanted this, because I mean, for crying out loud, the whole rhythm segments of Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
I think, and rhythm games are very popular in Japan, so I'm sure for a while Nomura's like somehow. But I just love the idea that like Nomura can never have just a spin-off game be just a spin-off. I mean, this goes way back to Chain of Memories. Originally, Chain of Memories was supposed to be just kind of like a Game Boy Advance remake of Kingdom Hearts 1. He was already in development of Kingdom Hearts 2. Nothing changed. Kingdom Hearts 2 was always going to be the way it was. But Nomura, being the person that he is, he decided, no, it's not going to just be retread of Kingdom Hearts 1, even though you visit like locations in Kingdom Hearts 1. He's just like, full on, no. This is going to connect the story to like in between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. And that is just, it was pretty much, it was just a prophecy of what was to come. This man cannot do spin-offs.
Every game is important. It's all part of the story, and this is a part of the charm of Kingdom Hearts. It's like going through all the games.
He's obsessed with continuity, and I think that's kind of adorable about Nomura.
Yeah, but one thing I think here is interesting: the 140 songs in the game.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts music, and it's really great to see.
Well, and I love how it, like, as if you, like, scroll through and go back, like, because everyone was trying to, like, focus on, like, which worlds are we going to visit. I think I saw Traverse Town in there. Obviously, you see a segment where they're on Destiny Islands. A lot of people were wondering what that was. This little, like, red location. And a lot of people says it almost looks like Destiny Islands is on fire.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, but Destiny Islands is right here, as you can see.
Yeah. Right, because you can see there's the island and then the main.
Yeah, there's so a lot of people are wondering, like, they're like, what's that? Because it's Melody of Memory, so they're going through memories, and a lot of people are having a time figuring out what is this that we visited before. And some people are like, what about Jafar's boss fight? But it doesn't look like Agrabah. You can see palm trees.
Yeah, this is.
It's all very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see?
What?
Since it's a Melody of Memories, what if we could return to Tarzan's world because it's public domain now?
I hope so. Unless there's some more shenanigans.
Well, no, it's public domain. They can't, like, the reason that we could never visit it is because of, I guess, the family of the author.
The Rice Edgar Burrow or Edgar Rice Burrow, a family.
Like they were like holding on to the copyright and wouldn't let Disney and Square Enix have it anymore. But it's public domain, so technically it's free real estate, boys.
Yeah, like I see.
Yeah, there's Traverse Town.
And then
look, there's Agrabah. There's
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. What's that?
That looks like that part of Traverse Town where you have that boss fight where you.
Oh, you know what? This might be like levels of in between because there's Traverse Town right there.
Yeah.
And then there's
because that looks like that one spot, you know, when you fight the boss.
Yes,
when you meet Donald and Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Well, if that's the case, then that fiery level could have some connection to Destiny Islands, like maybe when it was being consumed by darkness. Because it comes right after, because this is coming right after Traverse Town. That other one is coming right after.
Okay, so yeah, I see there's the Nightmare Before.
Oh, and then there's Atlantica. Pretty sure that's Atlantica. Because that looks like Triton's castle.
Yeah, I see a shark there. That's definitely Atlantica. So yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, I'm just going frame by frame. Like, so here's Agrabah.
And it's nice seeing Aladdin again. That makes me Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid. I've always loved it. And yet there's Hercules. Like I love how much mileage they've gotten out of Hercules.
Yeah. Took them 17 years to get through the movie.
Which it's only one movie. And it's really funny how much mileage. I wonder if like Nomura just like really adores Hercules or something.
Yeah.
But who cares? I like it.
The next step is involving stuff from the show.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's gonna really get his mileage out of it. But I kind of have fun with rhythm games. I mean, they're not my favorite type of games, but I enjoy them. I've sat down and played them. I mean, heck, I've gotten into the Persona dancing games.
Yeah.
But this one, a lot of people put because unintentionally hilarious. Like how am I going to be focusing getting the timing right when I'm too busy crying over Shion dying?
Yeah, like this is Shion's death scene at the end of days. Like this is like she dies, she explodes into a cloud of like icy crystals, and then everyone forgets about her until Kingdom Hearts 3.
And we're supposed to focus on timing to your music. Screw you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's like, I mean, yeah, they have some looks like online battles and
they mentioned that, but I love look at this, Riku and Sora and their Kingdom Hearts 1 attire, mind you, but they're in the Keyblade graveyard, so. But you see Unversed, so clearly, I like how, so this is showing that it's not going to be, because if everyone was wondering also too, if it's focusing on just memories in Kingdom Hearts 1. Because they're using the Kingdom Hearts 1 models of Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and they showed off a lot of worlds that were only in the first game.
Well, yeah, and then they have the Xemnas fight.
Yeah, but then they showed the Xemnas fight in Kingdom Hearts 2, but instead you're with Donald and Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora.
Yeah. And
you have, you see the Keyblade Graveyard, so they're definitely going to be going through the series, parts of the series. It's called Melody of Memories. So
and I think this is going to be going through multiple characters' memories and trying to because this is obviously picking up from Kingdom Hearts 3 where Kairi.
Well, yeah. Well, remember where Remind ended, where it said how Kairi believes that one of the keys to finding Sora is through her memories, her heart, and so they're researching Kairi's heart.
So yeah, and I think that obviously this is tying into that, and this is expanding on that.
I mean, the end of this trailer was so heavily focused on Kairi. Riku was just kind of there.
Yeah. Which, Riku's had his day in the light for nearly 20 years. Kairi can have some time now.
Goodness gracious, Kairi absolutely is a little bit due. I mean, yeah. I'm not mad because it was Sora's story, and it was also about Riku's character development.
Yeah.
He's all the way to Dream Drop Distance has all been about, like, Riku's also his character arc. So it's fine. It's okay for Kairi to be a side character. Now that Riku's like completed his character arc, and it's basically now it's like, okay, we got to find Sora, and it's now Kairi's turn.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm sure that this is going to be going through multiple different characters' memories because, like, despite the fact that we see Sora in here, I think this is going to be something like Data Sora from Coded, where, you know, it's like they reconstructed a Sora based on the data from Jiminy's journal.
Well, so, it's also probably tying into Kairi's memories, too, because of the strong connection between Sora and Kairi. I mean, the games have been constantly emphasizing this. Naminé had control over Sora's memories. Naminé is Kairi's nobody. And then you have the fact that by Naminé affecting Sora's memories affected all these people connected to Sora's heart. And then you have Xion, a clone created from Sora's memories, but his strongest memories were of Kairi, which is why
she looks a lot like Kairi.
Yeah, so there's a constant strong emphasis on the connection that Sora and Kairi have as characters, not just because they're love interests, but because there's this strong, unbreakable bond between them, and this game's definitely hinting at that they're going to keep continuing that theme.
Yeah, and now it's Kairi doing her work to try to save Sora after he saved her.
It's almost like a role reversal of like Sora and Chain of Memories now, but with Kairi. But instead of somebody messing with Kairi's memories, it's more of like Kairi trying to find a way to save Sora through these memories.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. That's what the trailer's making me think.
Yeah, and based off of the end of Remind. It's like, now we know what, Kairi was doing. She was asleep for a year trying to go through the memories and stuff.
Well, yeah, but again, asleep. She's I think wasn't it more like a couple months though?
Or I don't remember the exact, but
Sora was asleep so they could fix his memories. Now Kairi's asleep because she wants them to sift through her heart and her memories to find a way to like find the key to saving Sora.
Yeah.
Now, and I kind of like that they're tweaking that little parallel like a bit between Sora and Kairi, and I think that's very fitting.
Yeah, and it is funny. It's just like it's a rhythm game, but then it's like, okay, but then there's actual narrative context for this, and I'm really interested to see what they're going to establish, like officially, like why exactly we're going through all these memories, because you did it in Chain of Memories, and then because that was the whole thing of Sora was losing the memories, but all the areas were reflective of the memories from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yes.
And then Recoded was just like based off of Jiminy's journal.
Yes. And because of the one piece of the Thank Naminé, and it's like
Thank Naminé. It's just like, okay, but the journal was like all messed up because of everything. All the memory stuff was all wonky.
And I like that they're like, let's make a little side game.
Yeah.
And and the fact that it's coming to multiple platforms is really funny to me, because of Kingdom Hearts consistently had always been like PlayStation, and then with handhelds is always on the Nintendo stuff.
Well, with some stuff on the PSP, like Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, but
eventually that got ported, and thank goodness.
But I mean, like how they made specific games, like Chain of Memories. The original was specifically for the Game Boy Advance, and Days was specifically for the DS. And Dream Drop Distance was specifically for the 3DS.
Yeah, that's why it's called Dream Drop Distance 3D.
Yeah, 3D, like, yuck. And Recoded, even though it's a remake of Coded, it is specifically for the DS?
Yes, the DS.
The DS, and so...
Because that released, it was either right before or roughly around the same time as Birth by Sleep,
I think they were because their window was pretty close from what I remember.
Because at the end they actually they give a little hint of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, because they show like a sort of a faded image of them.
Yes.
And I was like really surprised. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So people are like, who are these guys?
Yeah. Though I had already played Birth by Sleep at that point, so I'm like, I know who these guys are.
At least the timeline's a little fuzzy to me because I actually didn't play Birth by Sleep when it first came out because I didn't own a PSP. So I waited until the remix version so I could play it. But I made sure to keep up to date. Like I watched people's playthroughs online. Yeah. Because I'm like, even if I can't own something that Kingdom Hearts is on, I'm like, I'm going to be up to date on it. Don't you worry. Yeah. Because I loved this series so much. But
But yeah, I mean, this is also coming out on the Switch, which is like.
But yeah, but
totally-
ever since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, which was like PS4 and Xbox.
That's one, yeah.
Which, so I like that now Kingdom Hearts, they're just like, no. We want, like, these are good games. We want everybody to experience them. And now to see, like, on all three of them, it makes me really happy.
Yeah. Well, and this is something else that I saw some people talking about online, is that whenever the K and the S are long and they kind of swing under like this, that means Sora is not the main protagonist of it.
Yeah.
Because then you see games like Birth by Sleep does this, and then
Days, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, Days is like that, and it was like, and I was looking, I'm like, no way, and then I looked at it, I'm like, that is true, and I'm like, so yeah, Sora's just by being playable here, like, and this makes me wonder. Is Sora the only character you're going to be playing as in this? Because they're just showing Sora. Mm-hmm. But what if you also play segments as Riku, or as Kairi, or as Roxas, or whatever?
Well, I mean, you saw briefly Sora and Riku's models.
Yeah.
Running through the Keyblade graveyard on that one thing. So it does make me wonder if things are going to be interchangeable. And obviously, it has to be characters that are connected to Sora's heart, probably. Because of, that's like going all the way back to Chain of Memories. Naminé, by affecting Sora's memories, in turn only affected people that have a connection to Sora in general. Like any person he ever forged a connection with. Like, I find that like that's fitting, that it's like it's trying to bring it all back like that. Like, there's so much, like Kairi's like backstory. It looks like we're gonna like really fully divulge into.
Yeah, because that's the next part of the trailer that we get into.
Yeah, like first it shows Terranort, and then a lot of people were just like, Subject X?
Yeah, Melodies and Memories hold the secret to his final plan. Whose final plan?
And
is this referencing stuff that Xehanort did, or is this stuff about the Master of Masters? We don't know.
I know, it's like the mystery is like, it's driving me crazy. But I like how we see Terranort, and a lot of people were like, I wonder if this is referring to Subject X. But if you remember, Subject X vanished, and so I think the theory was that Terranort then replaced Subject X with Kairi.
Well, yeah, and because that's in the Ansem report in Kingdom Hearts 1. Because people were posting this. People were like, what's this going on? And people were like, Ansem report 11 in Kingdom Hearts 1. It was like, it was specifically about, with full context.
I wonder if like Nomura's office is like notes upon notes. He's got his own like Bible, but it's like that one meme, you know, where like
it's the Pepe Sylvia meme from It's Always Sunny, where the guy's like,
yeah, but you know the one meme where they were like, how they were like, Harry Potter, like as a series, they're like Harry Potter if everyone had a gun, you know, like the really thin one. I wonder if it's just like the Kingdom Hearts series is the really tiny one, and then Nomura's office.
Yeah.
With all the notes that he has, like.
Yeah, and I wonder if like some of these side games are specifically to get at things that they never actually got around to.
They just don't have the time to fit.
Because like this is stuff related to like Days. Days is Roxas's backstory.
Yes.
So I'm sure that he had notes on what happened with Roxas between the time of him being created and then him showing up in Kingdom Hearts 2. But then it's just like, well, we can only show a tiny bit of that in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, what do we do? Well, let's make a game about Roxas, about that year that he spent.
The whole stuff. And
358 days over 2 people.
Yeah. the titles are quite interesting.
Yeah.
At least this one is just, it's just called Melody of Memories.
And it's actually very nice and very soothing, rolls off the tongue. But it's this.
And then of course, that's such a title for something, Kairi.
Yeah.
Because it's actually like, aw. Because when you look at Kairi, you're like, aw. But then she'll like screw you up. Like at the end of the trailer, she's like, I won't forgive you. And I'm just like, let's go, Kairi!
Yeah. But one thing I think is really interesting here is that while they touched on stuff with Apprentice Xehanort, or Terranort, you still never got too much of him. The most you saw of him was at the end of Birth by Sleep, when you get to like the secret ending and stuff, where you see him interacting with Braig, and it's just like, or Lushu, or it says spoilers. It's been forever, but like
I still need to make that cake.
Yeah, because that was her bet.
We had a running bet. They're like, is it? I'm sorry, I'm calling him Luxord. I would not call him Lou Short.
I was banking on Luxord, but ended up being Lushu. Like, that was my bet.
And I was just like, what? And I just threw it out there. I wasn't even. I'm just like, I'm just gonna say it's Zigbar just for the kids.
And she was right. She won that bet.
Because I'm like, what would be the most wild thing? The only thing more wild is if I said it was Demix.
It's Demix time.
I'm just like, what's the most wild? I'm just like, throw a dart. It's Zigbar. He's Lucio.
And then the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, but I know when I got to that part, I was just like, Zigbar!
And I was like, I even sent him a Snapchat like the day, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell you, because I threw out all sorts of theories at him. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you which of my 12 theories happened, but one of them was right, and I'm smug.
Oh, and it was so funny he got to that part, but yeah, I mean, it's like we never really got to see too much of Apprentice Terranor, but I'm like, now it looks like we're at least going to be getting a little bit more, and especially, and because they show this. Yeah, this is clearly Kid Kyrie running around, and it's first person, so it's from her perspective.
Yeah, like, and then she's like kind of like gasping, like it's like a memory that's like she's starting to recall.
Well, yeah, and this is the part, like, I know I had to go back and pause this, but it was like, this is Apprentice Terranor grabbing Kyrie. This is right before he did whatever experiment where he was going to throw her out into the lanes between and try to see, does she lead me to a Keyblade wielder?
Yeah.
And that's when she ends up on Destiny Islands. So it's like, you know, and when I saw this, I was so excited because I'm like, we're finally getting the backstory on what happened with Kyrie, and like, I'm so excited. I don't know if we're actually going to get it. I would love it if we actually got to see Kyrie arriving on Destiny Island.
Well, and it's so fitting how everything all comes together. Like, it keeps coming together. Like, Destiny Island's where it all started. Like, in Birth by Sleep, where Xehanort was planning on just dumping Ventus there after he shattered his heart. And Sora, as a baby, his heart is just, his power is just to connect hearts together and be shelter, and just like he revitalizes Ventus and heals in a way to like suddenly he's no longer dead inside, and it's just like, well, that was interesting, and then he's able like to take Ventus back and dump him off on Ericus.
Yeah,
And
which then eventually explains why at the end of the game when his heart is. When he's just totally destroyed.
Completely.
Yeah, his heart goes to Sora.
Yeah.
Because they already made that connection. I mean, you kind of have to figure this stuff out by going through the cutscenes a couple of times because it's not super explicit.
But it's really cool, like how things keep coming back to like that. And I'm like, and isn't it fitting because this is Terranort, hijacked Terra. Kyrie, who had a protection spell put on her by Aqua, is being sent to Destiny Island. Sora, someone who has an explicit connection to Ventus. And I'm just like, I like how he keeps like creating these things that keep calling back to other previous games to like keep like, it all keeps fitting, and it's like really cool. And I swear he probably is obsessively like keeps going over his notes and probably rereading them.
What can I make a game out of?
like what fits?
Well, another thing that's interesting that people pointed out is that in Kingdom Hearts 3, when Terranort comes back, because with full context, we understand that because Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas were defeated, since that was the Heartless and the Nobody defeated. Terranort came back as an actual physical being.
Yes.
Which is, it was like, of course! I never thought about it. Of course, that's why he showed up again. But then when he attacks and Kyrie freezes up, a lot of people are like, why did she freeze up? Look! It was because Terranort was the one that kidnapped her and launched her out into nothingness.
Well, body jack Terra, but still.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Well, yeah, because this is the same guy. His hairstyle is a little different. But, like, and people are like, yeah,
repressed memories.
She repressed memories that she was traumatized by, and it's like with Aqua freezing up when she sees the swarm, and then when you see it from her perspective.
Yeah, like suddenly she
sees the
she's having like a lot of like soldiers that come back from war. Like suddenly they're like
she's having a PTSD flashback, and it's all she sees all these Heartless as her being possessed by the darkness,
and suddenly she's in the world of the realm of darkness again. Like suddenly like. even though she's not, like her brain just automatically went back there. And I'm just like, oh wow.
Well, it's so funny because this is stuff you don't really think about at first, and then once you actually get the context, you're like, oh my gosh, and it's like, yeah, and it's like this had totally slipped my mind. It was like, yeah, with Sora hugging Kairi in that scene, it's not just jumping in front of her to protect her. It was snapping her out of her traumatized.
Yeah, because a lot of people said Kairi had a strange reaction when Sora like threw himself on her. Like she was kind of like she had this weird delayed reaction, and then they're like, oh, that's why her reaction was a bit delayed. She was snapping out of it.
Yeah, he was snapping her out of her own PTSD flashback, and it's like, holy crap! Like, and it's a rhythm game that got people talking about this, and this is what's like. This is why I wanted to talk about it, because this is something that you never really thought about. But now that they're showing more of the scenes and they're reminding everyone, hey guys,
remind.
Yeah, it reminds you that this is this. It's like, oh wow, and it's like. And this is what I got. This is why it's getting people excited about the game, because sure, a lot of people when they hear Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, they're like, eh. I mean, I made a video about it because everyone's like, okay, yeah. But then when you see what story they're giving, it's like, this is interesting, and like, and we see Kairi like waking up.
Yeah, she's like in the final world.
Yeah, and we see her in the final world, and this figure here,
the cloaked figure. Now, some people, because of especially her lines, like she's referring to it as somebody who keeps messing with her fate. Now, or people are like, is she seeing just a memory of like Terranort or one of the different Xehanorts, or
is the Master of Masters?
Is it him, and was he somehow involved, or
is it Lucio? Yeah,
like, you don't know because it's just this cloaked figure.
Well, yeah, and this is the problem, is that all of them wear this darn cloak, so you never know exactly who it is.
And you know Nomura does that on purpose because he wants us to keep speculating and talking about it and theorizing. It's like the opposite of the Star Wars sequels, where instead Nomura's not punishing you for coming up with theories. Well, he's encouraging it. He's actively encouraging his fan base to just go nuts and wild with the theories. You want to make up a theory where Demyx is the Master of Masters all along? Go for it!
It's Demyx time!
Go for it! Just go for it!
Well, yeah, and a lot of people, I thought, immediately assumed that this was the Master of Masters, and I think she says right here, it doesn't matter if you're a memory or an illusion.
That's what she says.
It says that even if you're not really hearing, this is just a memory or an illusion, you know, and it's like he's about to pull it off.
And she's like, I won't let you walk away. But again, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, now the Terranort theory makes sense because of that's somebody who has messed with her life.
Yeah. I mean,
if it's like either Xehanort's Heartless or if it's Xemnas, still it makes sense because that's still tied to Xehanort and Xemnas, the whole thing. They've also messed with her life.
Yeah, or this could also be something that they reveal that Lucio or the Master of Masters had done that we didn't know already.
Something else going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's it's just Kingdom Hearts trailers are really good at getting people to start speculating
and going crazy.
Yeah, because
like I remember just that shot of Aqua for Kingdom Hearts 3.
And she has the white hair and the yellow eyes.
But it wasn't completely white. It was tinged with white, but then she's got the yellow eyes. And everyone immediately was like, Aqua is one of the Norts. She got Norted. And that was a very popular...
Well, but then if you noticed, her ears were normal. They weren't pointy.
Yeah, I know.
So it was like, she's not a true...
I know. And then there was like this war of like, they're like, either like the same thing that happened to her, like Riku, or it's like... What happened?
People just called her Aquanort just because. And then her line when she says, "Oh Mickey, you're already too late," and people were like, "No, Aqua!"
And it's just like everyone just went speculation crazy, and I love stuff like that, like how like they'll show you a little bit, which is just the tip of the iceberg, and you're like. What are they like? If this is what, because if you're like, these are kind of like something that you should hide in spoiler territory. But it's like, but if this is what Nomura is willing to show you, what is he not showing you?
Yeah, because and then we see,
and
and
the little flower thing that you had to collect everywhere in Remind.
Yeah, and this is something. Let me just get to that one shot. Because this is what Sora was collecting when he was going back trying to restore Kairi, and then you see, blam, and then
you could do that shot where you do see Sora with it, but also I like that you see Kairi you see Sora with it. So it might be just a memory of how Sora gathered it together in the remind, like to how he could save Kairi. So it's probably a memory of that, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But still, just see Kairi and Riku together.
Oh yeah.
Like there go and. Like,
Yeah, well, and it says it's because a lot of people were like, okay, they're like, because Sora, Riku, and Kairi are friends. There's been a lot of focus on Sora and Riku's friendship. There's been focus on Sora and Kairi and their relationship, but then there hasn't been as much. There's been a little bit here and there.
Yeah, a little bit. The
Riku.
most I think we get is in Kingdom Hearts 1, actually, with Riku constantly trying to do things to save Kairi, not knowing the things that he's doing, and he's being misled by the very people that done that to her.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, but it's like, it's not since Kingdom Hearts 1 where this has really been touched on. Like, they got a couple of nice scenes in Kingdom Hearts 2, like when he saves her and stuff like that.
And we got a little bit of interaction between them in
0.2, where they had a couple of cutscenes together.
Yeah.
Because it was just Riku and Kairi talking to Yin Sid, because Sora doesn't come until later. And I like that. But so it's nice that we're gonna get a game where instead, and this will be really fun to see because of Riku is far more experienced, whereas Kairi's still the newbie.
Yeah, he's now a Keyblade master as of Dream Drop Distance.
So I hope that it's a very almost like mentor and the newbie in a way. Like, I would love to see that aspect.
Yeah, because now he's the one with all the power and the skills. Because it was because of him having the power of waking and becoming a Keyblade master, which is the reason why he accompanied Mickey to find Aqua in Kingdom Hearts 3, is because they were the two most skilled Keyblade wielders that they had.
I like it.
Yeah. So, and when I first saw this, I was like, yes, because a lot of people were like, oh, Riku's going to try to do something to save Sora. But then we were like, okay, but we want Riku and Kairi to do this together.
They're Sora's best friends.
They are the Destiny trio.
And it makes the most sense to have these two going on an adventure together.
Yeah.
Because if anything, Sora's been bending himself backwards constantly to save both of their lives.
Yeah.
Let's face it, like, Sora's basically saved Riku from the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of eternal damnation.
Yeah.
And like Kairi, she's either been kidnapped or like she's been housing her heart to protect her so it's not being used by evil people. Like, Sora's done a lot for these two.
Yeah. So, and it's nice to see because, I'm sure they're going to be doing their own thing at different points, but the fact that they're going to be working together at all is that's so good. Because I know some people made comments. I remember this one comic that someone drew of Riku saying, "All right, Kairi, just sit here. I'll go save Sora." And then she gives him this evil glare, and he's like, "You can come too."
Yeah, it's just like,
and we were like, "Don't leave Kairi behind."
Like, not this time. I'm like, no. I was fine with it in the other beginning of the games because it was mostly focused on Sora and Riku. That's fine because that was their stories. Now, Riku's story is pretty much completed, and everyone can throw a hissy fit about that. His character arc is completed. Now, he can be there to give guidance to everybody else. Like he was in Kingdom Hearts 2. Every time, like, Sora needed a little pick-me-up, Riku was there to give him a good little, like, encouraging line. Because of he's a fully developed character.
Yeah.
He doesn't really need to grow anymore because of where left there is to grow. He's complete. He's a complete character.
He's already had his fall to darkness, his redemption, his atonement, and now he's become.
And he earned that.
Yeah.
Riku earned that.
He spent over a decade worth of games earning this atonement.
Everyone talks about Zuko and Avatar: The Last Airbender having one of the greatest redemption arcs. I dare you to find one better than Riku. Riku did it in the span of like basically a decade.
Yeah.
worth of gaming where they really slow burned that.
Because it wasn't even until Dream Drop Distance that he truly got his actual full redemption, because he still had those issues, because even in Dream Drop Distance he was still battling with the inner darkness of Ansem.
And it was a constant thing, and I liked that. Like, Riku's a really good character, and he earned that. He earned that character arc, that completion.
So and I like the idea of him being there for Kairi as a mentor, a close childhood friend and a mentor now to help her with what's going on.
And it makes the most sense that it's the two of them. Like, it should be Kairi and Riku that find Sora, because it was always Sora that ends up finding them before he always keeps getting set. Excuse me, I almost burped. Whoa, we had root beer earlier. But it makes the most sense. Like, now it's their turn to save Sora. With all the, I've already said this, Sora saved them so many times. It's now their turn to save Sora. Like, and I think it is the most fitting that the two most important people to Sora, his best friend and his other best friend / love interest, are the one who will do it.
Yeah. And what I find it's interesting is that they're here in the final world, and because...
Probably talking to some of the very stars that Sora talked to, and I bet you they're going to talk to the nameless star.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. Is this star that we see here, is this going to be the nameless star?
Yeah, the one that referenced Yozora. And that's the other thing. Is Yozora going to play any part in this?
Yeah. Because I think someone said that in the Kingdom Hearts 2020 logo thing, they saw a picture of Yozora.
Yeah, Sora was in the 2, and so was Yozora. One was in 120, one was in the other 20.
So a lot of people are wondering if this is going to, because we see this here.
Because it can't, because of the 2 stars that Sora talks to, one is Naminé, and the other is the Nameless Star. Naminé's already set free, so... The only other important star to talk to would be the Nameless Star.
Yeah. So, and this is because now that we've had that hint of Yozora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, now people are going to be like, okay, so...
What else? What else you got here?
Yeah.
Unless Nomura's going to go full balls to the walls and actually make a Virum Rex game, and he's going to give just a middle finger to everybody because, screw you, I will make my Versus 13.
Virum Rex versus 13.
Versus Organization 13. He's gonna be cheeky. He's gonna be very cheeky. And everyone's like, oh, he's not doing this out of spite. Nomura's not salty.
He specifically recreated shots from the Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailer.
I'm like, even Nomura's just like, oh, I wasn't thinking of he's BSing us. So I'm like, don't you tell me you were thinking it.
I only and there was a building from the Versus 13 trailer that's in the city where Riku is.
The music.
Yeah.
The music is from the trailer.
It's like they specifically referenced it so much in that bit. I'm like,
and he literally,
it's not an accident.
He really is like, he's a white-haired Noctis. The name, his character, is the same meaning as Noctis's name.
Yeah.
Basically, or something like that. Oh yeah, Virum Rex is Latin for, I think something king or
True King
or something like that, which is obviously a Noctis reference.
Yeah.
The nameless star, and the girl wears a star necklace. She looks suspiciously like Stella, which Stella in Latin means star.
Yeah.
And one of the things the nameless star says to Sora, his form has been changed beyond recognition. Is this like some meta thing? Like even Yozora says, I don't normally look like this. And I'm just like,
Well, and it's like, it's just after he was kicked off of Final Fantasy Versus 13, and it was,
I'm gonna make my own.
And Tabata, turned it into a complete abomination. It's just like, he's like, well, screw you, I'll put it in Kingdom Hearts.
I know, he's like,
you can't touch Kingdom Hearts, this is mine.
Yeah, no, it's his, and it's so funny because it's like the way he kept cramming like a Dream Drop Distance, The World Ends With You, because it's just like, screw you guys, if you won't give me a sequel to The World Ends With You, I'm just gonna put it in Kingdom Hearts, and then I'll get my sequel.
Yeah.
just like, come on. Nomura's a spiteful man.
Yeah.
But he's a beautiful, spiteful man. Don't believe me? Somebody once told him that zippers weren't like good looking or something like that on an outfit.
Kingdom Hearts 2 then was...
It was like, boom!
Zippers.
Everything zippers. And I'm wondering if that's where the plaid obsession also came from.
Hey,
It's like,
plaid looks terrible. F you, everyone's wearing plaid now.
he just strikes me as the kind of guy who would do that.
Yeah. But something that's interesting here, this is where we see Kairi...
Oh yeah.
at the end of Remind, when we see her sleeping, it's here.
Yeah, so it's probably her maybe waking up after they probably analyze some of the data through her memories. Maybe it's somewhere near the end of Melody of Memories, and they're like, all right, we've analyzed the data, and that could be what the Sora and all the other things. They could be data analyzing these memories.
Yeah, because we got Enzo, Vexen, and Ansem. The real.
The true. The true.
It's like, yeah, we got 5 different Ansems, and it's like, this is the real one.
But the other thing is, it's just, sorry, I guess I should say Ivan or Evan or whatever.
Oh, I forgot that's what his name. I'm just used to calling him Vexen.
I know.
I can never pronounce his name before, so I just call him Ienzo because that's actually easier. But it's like
Zexion
Zexion
was his.
I just always got confused with Zexion, but it's just like, and they're just calling him Ienzo through all of Kingdom Hearts 3.
But that's why I liked in Kingdom Hearts 3 every time Demix interacted with him, he was just like, "Hey, Zexion." He's like, "Actually, it's Zexion." He's like, "Fine, you can call me whatever you want."
You're Demix, you can get away with that.
But I love it. And okay, this is off topic, but talk about a surprise, Vexen. Like, I couldn't wait when we were playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm like, I can't wait for whenever he sees, like, Vexen was secretly good all along.
They set it up at the beginning. Oh, Vexen became a somebody again, but then he turned evil because he's just an evil person. I'm like, okay, Wayne, yeah, I mean Vexen, but and then at the end, and then later he's like, I was actually a good guy all along, and I was like, what?
Mind blown.
Yeah, but and it's I like seeing like the nobodies from Organization 13. I like that since they came back. I like how that started.
Yeah.
It was just to find a way to bring Axel back.
Because he's so insanely
Yeah,
popular.
because this is the whole reason that they added the lore of once the Heartless and then the Nobody are defeated, then they come back and recreate the Somebody, and you become a normal person again. And then they were like, well, by that logic, all of the Organization 13 members come back.
What fascinates me is where they were announcing that there's going to be more games, not just Melody of Memories and Dark Road. Like, so there's more on the horizon. It's Nomura's phase 2. He's going full on MCU. For crying out loud, the Kingdom Hearts 2020 logo when it was coming.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Marvel logo.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me so much of Marvel, but it also made me feel so nostalgic for Kingdom Hearts. But the way they built it up, as they showed the cover arts for each of these games, and then all these cut scenes in the Kingdom Hearts 2020 logo, I'm like, that's beautiful. That's amazing. And it makes me wonder what's in store, because of Remind was basically hinting at other things that probably could be games of their own. They were talking about how Axel's crew, Roxas, Shion, and Frick.
The Sea Salt Trio.
Well, yeah, but also I can't remember his.
Issa.
Yeah, Isa, that's right. I always want to call him Syx because that's just what I call him.
Syx is one I always have to think about.
I'm just like, what?
But I refuse to call Axel Lee. No, he's Axel.
I got it memorized,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
But I like how they said they're going to meet up with the Twilight Town gang.
Well, yeah, because Nominee's actually with them now.
Yeah, so Nominee's with them, so that fascinates me. So it's like, oh, they're their own little crew. They're going to try to find the way to save Sora.
Yeah.
With the help of, obviously, Roxas and Shion, Sora's nobody and basically his female clone.
Yeah, because she's made of the memories of Kairi.
Well, and it makes sense to then to also go to Nominee, because Nominee has control, that was her powers, but she originally had control over, the memories of Sora's heart.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that those three together, they would make a great team, and, the others will help them out.
And we finally would have a trio that's one guy and two girls.
Well, I mean, but Axel's there, and then
Issa. And then there's also the stuff with.
Well, yeah, and Axel and Issa about Subject X that's probably going to be touched upon.
Yeah.
But they're setting up all these different story ideas, and then you have the Wayfinder trio. They're going to be exploring the realm of darkness to see if there's a way to save Sora there.
Yeah, and I was so happy to see them all decked out in their armor again, because when they started going, I was like, yes, their armor.
So I'm like, are we going to have 2 more games on the horizon where it's going to be what the Twilight group is all doing, and then what the Wayfinder trio is just doing?
Like you could have those you could have Melody of Memories is what Riku and Kairi and the scientists are doing. Then you'd have the stuff with the Twilight Town gang. Well, even with Hainer, Pence, and Olette.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They went to Twilight Town.
Yeah,
and I like how they just agreed. They're like, okay, we've never actually met Roxas.
But he was friends with copies of us, so he's basically already our friend.
Sure, we'll be his friend. And I'm just that's so funny. They're just so readily accept that. Sure, okay, but I like how they're all together.
And then you would have the Wayfinder trio doing their thing. So you could ideally have 3 different games all happening at the same time about trying to find Sora,
Yeah.
and then the next game.
And then you could do like Verumbrex.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go for it. Come on.
Yeah, but then I'm also interested, and they didn't really show much, I'm also interested of them bringing back more Final Fantasy characters.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because that was such a huge complaint in Kingdom Hearts 3 that they barely referenced them.
Now, what do you think in Remind? There's like
They were like,
cutscenes
guys,
of them
look,
interacting.
look, we have Squall, oh no, I'm sorry, Leon. And then we have Aerith, and then we've got
Yuffie and Sid.
Yeah, so like, hey guys, like it was just a short little bit with them, but they're like, look guys, they're still here. But that means okay, we're gonna see more, and it's like because there are still some threads that were tied up like of that never got answered.
Like,
what happened with Zack?
Yeah, what happened with Zack?
Like, did Zack die, or is there something else that happened to him?
Yeah, or
if he did die, does he get to come back?
Well, I
or
mean,
whatever.
apparently, because people at first were wondering who Cloud meant in Kingdom Hearts 1 when he was looking for somebody. And then suddenly, now that we have full context, he was looking for Zack. So, what happened to Zack?
Yeah. Well, is
it like in Final Fantasy VII where Zack is dead?
And if that's the case, could he come back? Because hardly anyone actually stays dead in Kingdom Hearts. Ansem here blew up his data bomb and died, and then he just shows up in the Realm of Darkness hey, Aqua!
Apparently the data bomb just, it full on just transports you to the Shadow Realm. I'm sorry, Realm of Darkness.
Yeah. I'm going to send myself to the Shadow.
It's like, okay.
But, and it's like, okay, you had all that stuff that was going on, and then, like, is there stuff that they're going to bring in from other Kingdom Hearts games? I mean, shoot, remember they had the Final Fantasy X-2 characters?
Yes.
It's like they were fairies, and then you also had you had Titus and Waka on the island.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, granted they were minor characters,
Yeah.
but still.
Well, it's like,
but also, what about the whole plot line with Cloud and Sephiroth's battle, and then they just vanished in Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yeah, like that was something that was built up in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like you had Cloud and Sephiroth and Tifa. And Tifa was trying to find Cloud, and then it's like, okay, they never really resolved that.
And they built up how like Sephiroth is supposed to be the personification of Cloud's darkness, whereas Tifa's the personification of his light. First off, you're going to need to explain that.
Yeah.
Like, does this tie into like Heartless and Nobodies and Data and all the other frickin' stuff?
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, and it's just one of the things is like, maybe they'll delve into this more, like, hopefully that we'll start getting more, because we've gotten seconds-long clips from this game, so it's like, yeah, there's going to be more, and I'd like to see more of the Final Fantasy characters, because it says, yeah, it's focusing on Kairi, and it would be nice for Kairi to actually get to meet, some of these other Final Fantasy characters.
Like Sora and stuff like that.
Well, and, I think it would be really great if she actually got to see memories of Sora from Kingdom Hearts 1, where he wanted to take Kairi to
Oh, that'd be so cute. She's like, what if you have a melody like level where you're in Neverland, but you're flying as Kairi with Sora, because then it'd be like, oh, he took her flying.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was built up that hasn't totally been like brought back or addressed or.
I mean, technically, he took her flying in Kingdom Hearts Remake.
That is true. They were flying through the endless nothingness when he was restoring everyone after everyone effing died again.
Dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's interesting because we know that this is like what's going on with Kairi. It's that she's trying to find Sora. Because since we played Kingdom Hearts 3 and this was at the end of Remind, like that's now their goal is trying to find Sora, which then of course is eventually going to tie into the World Ends With You because he's in Shibuya, which of course the Reaper's game, because everyone who plays that game in The World Ends With You died, and now the Reaper's game is a way for them to try to get away to come back to life.
Like how Nomura is doing this to tie.
It was like, he set this up in Dream Drop Distance. And I was like, was he planning to do this whole thing?
He absolutely
he was playing, alright, Sora's going to die, but I'm introducing the World Ends With You characters in Kingdom Hearts.
Because if you remember, he released that art of Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora with all the World Ends With You characters before Kingdom Hearts 3 even came out. And everyone was just like, oh, this is really cool. Like,
Yeah,
and then
it's fun art that has nothing to do with anything.
and then like, little did we know. That was totally referencing at the end of the game, in the final, like the secret ending movie, that Sora was suddenly going to see the Shibuya building and freaking the world.
Yeah, he's 10-4, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness, Nomura, stop it! You were constantly a madman.
Yeah. So and since they show a tiny bit of Sora earlier with.
Well, yeah, like I do think it's like a memory of like when, like Sora managed to finally get all those pieces of that flower crystal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so I think that's just a memory from, like, Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, but another thing. The Kingdom shader is being used here, and everyone under the sun said that can't run on a Switch. And here we have a Kingdom shader running on the Switch. I'm just saying, since the Xbox absolutely got what they deserved and got all the Kingdom Hearts games as a collection together. So now all the Xbox players can play the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you guys because I love these games and I want all of you to play it. And good. It should come to the Xbox. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, now that, especially now that we're getting because this is technically a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's like, sure, some of the side games have come to some Nintendo consoles,
Which is also like, yeah, these are side games that have really important context for like in between games.
yeah, but none of the main games have come to Nintendo consoles, so it's like, well, and with it coming to Xbox, it's like you never have any relationship with Xbox at all, so it's like they have to like. It'd be so easy to start with like the 1.5 and 2.5.
Yes.
Or if they want to just drop it all, do the story so far collection.
Like they did with Xbox, and I thought that was very smart for them to do that for Xbox. Because I thought it was weird that at first they were only doing Kingdom Hearts 3 for Xbox. So I'm like, shouldn't the Xbox players get all the other games too? And it's a little weird that they did that after Kingdom Hearts 3. Probably should have done that before. But oh well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, okay. Well, since we're getting this on the Switch, can we get a Story So Far collection? Because don't tell me it can't run like freaking Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and Chain of Memories. It absolutely can run those games. And Birth by Sleep, are you kidding me? If a PSP can run it, a Nintendo Switch can run it.
Well, yeah, and it's like the 1.5 and 2.5 originally came out in the PS3. So it's like...
It can run it.
Yeah.
It can run it.
Like, it's like the only ones you'd probably have any difficulty on would be Kingdom Hearts 3
and 0.2, but I don't think that's a problem, especially considering we are seeing cutscenes of Kingdom Shader here on the Switch, because if this is a game that's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, and, and considering the fact that it's like, they're like, okay, well, we want to put stuff on the Switch. Okay, then
Go
please,
for it.
yeah, at least say, hey guys, we're going to be putting Kingdom Hearts games on the Switch.
And then... Just to give a shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers ever. You're probably not going to see this, but hi HMK.
But yeah.
Sora for Smash?
Yes. Yeah, I want Sora in Smash.
And I do not understand how people can say, yeah, these other characters getting in Smash is fine, but Sora can't. Okay, but Sora's been on more Nintendo stuff than
Cloud.
Than Joker.
Yeah.
Like,
even Bayonetta. Like, he's been on more Nintendo consoles. The Game Boy Advance, the DS, the 3DS.
The whole reason they made Chain of Memories was because they said, originally it was supposed to just be Kingdom Hearts 1 for the Game Boy Advance. That was it. It was supposed to just be like just a Game Boy Advance version of Kingdom Hearts 1. So that way Nintendo players could experience Kingdom Hearts 1. But Nomura said, nah, it's a midquel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if he can't just do spin-offs. He has to do like goodness. And whenever it's like, okay, let's port these games to the PS3, he's like, no. Final mix versions. I was like, let's add more story content because Nomura is obsessed with continuity and story.
Yeah.
Like, put this all on the Switch. Like, you've already put in several, like, mid-quel games on, like, Nintendo portables. You're putting Melody of Memories on the Switch.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like with Persona 5 Scramble. It's like a sequel to a game that's not on the Switch. But it's like, okay, are we going to be getting more Kingdom Hearts games? Because I'm going to buy Melody of Memories on the Switch.
And I know that's what HMK has been saying, because he's just like, because he is hardcore like Sora for Smash. He is literally like the face of Sora for Smash. And people always get mad when you link to HMK. They're like, well, your arguments for why Sora can't be in Smash are stupid, and here's HMK disproving you. And they're like, why do you guys always link to that? I'm like, because he disproves you, because he talked to the Vice President of Japan, who said, yeah, Disney's fine with that. They're just like, we literally have an agreement that if Nintendo wants it and if the fans wants it, then sure, we wouldn't have a problem with that happening. Well, and Nintendo and Disney have never had a bad relationship, like ever. And any form of the sun. In the Epcot of Disney World, there's a bunch of Nintendo merchandise in the Epcot Japan section. Like there's a lot of that's there, and after a while, eventually all the new Pokemon anime started airing on Disney XD. Smash, Wii U, and way back when had a Smash tournament that aired on Disney XD only. It was the only place you could watch this Smash tournament. A Smash Brothers tournament. And then you got like these other Disney games, like the Epic Mickey games were exclusive for the Wii, and all the old school games that Disney made for the Super Nintendo, they made like Super Nintendo games for their like the Disney afternoon shows, like Tailspin, Chip and Dale, and for crying out loud, they've also made I still remember playing like the Aladdin game for the Super Nintendo. I loved it to death. I hated the Lion King one because I kept dying because those stupid freaking hyenas jumping up in the vines, whatever. The Aladdin one was really fun. They made a Goof Troop game for the Super Nintendo. I don't think they have a bad relationship at all. So I don't see why Nintendo would be a problem. And it certainly you can't say it's Square Enix, because if Square Enix and Nintendo have a good relationship again. Why do you think there's all this stuff that's coming out like Octopath Traveler, and they've been constantly porting all these Final Fantasy games?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying. So what's left for your excuses? Nomura probably wouldn't want it. No. Nomura and Sakurai are friends.
They actually became friends because of the discussions and the talks to get Cloud in.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, when Kingdom Hearts hit its anniversary, I can't remember if it was the 10th or the 15th anniversary, Sakurai congratulated Nomura specifically and talked about how amazing and incredible his achievement is, and how he understands from a person, and he specifically tied it to Smash Brothers. He said, speaking as somebody who knows full well about how ambitious crossover games are, as he's referring to Smash, and he's just like, he's like commending him, he's congratulating him on a job well done on making this amazing series, all based on being a crossover. And I'm like, who makes more sense to be in a crossover game than literally a character whose game is literally Final Fantasy crossed over with Disney? Smash Brother is a celebration of crossovers. Get a crossover character in this game. So yeah, okay. I know it has nothing to do with Melody of Memories, but I'm just saying, I can feel it in my bones. This is something that should happen, and this can be a precursor to it.
Yeah. And it's like they better not be saying, oh, well, we want to see we want to test the waters with the Switch. It's going to sell.
It will.
Melody of Memories is going to sell on the Switch. Because there are still Kingdom Hearts fans who play the games, but then they have to buy another console to play them. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, a lot of people would want it on the Switch.
Funnily enough, I didn't own a PS2 until Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. I was never a PlayStation player. I always played Nintendo and Sega. I was always a Nintendo and Sega person growing up. And then when Xbox came out, my brothers got that, and sometimes I'd play some games with them on their Xbox, or I'd just watch them play. I wasn't as into Xbox, but I was fine with it. But I was never, like, anytime I ever played a Sony game is if I was at another friend's house playing on their Sony game. That's how I got into like the later Final Fantasy games, especially Final Fantasy VII. I played with a friend because she had a PS2. But Or was it the PS1? It was so long ago. I was a little kid. But I remember these things. But like, and then when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and I remember laughing at Kingdom Hearts at first when I first saw trailers for it. And I'm just like, Final Fantasy of Disney? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I thought the same thing when I first saw it.
And then I saw like Toonami do like a review, because whenever, you know, Tom used to do reviews of video games, he did a review of Kingdom Hearts 2, and he was talking about how fun and how great it was, and I'm just like, really?
Well, if Tom likes it.
Well, no, but I still found that really weird. I was like, really? Disney and Final Fantasy? This is. I think he gave it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And I'm just like, really? This sounds too weird to be true. But then all my friends were like really getting into Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, all right, fine. So I saved up my money. I bought a PS2, and I bought Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I bought Chain of Memories also for the Game Boy Advance. I just went to GameStop, just bought it all because I saved up my money, because I first got I had so many babysitting, so much cash I saved up. and then I played the crap out of Kingdom Hearts, and it's just been a part of my life ever since. And it always made me sad, like whenever they like release something that was like, whatever it was like, it's just like a Nintendo thing, and I'm like, the other games should come to like Nintendo too, so that way everybody can have it. And I thought it was weird that they kept spursing these games out and not trying to keep it all consistent. When they finally did these collections, like the story so far and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's smart, do that, so that way everybody can have everything if they missed out on the other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, let's not do that again. Let's keep everything together for the Switch.
Well, yeah. And hopefully, like, this leads to the collections. Like, I have a feeling, like, considering how long it's been, they'll probably just announce, by the way, all of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Switch. Like what they did with the Final Fantasy games. They were like, Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10...
10-2.
10-2, and...
and then all these other ones, like all these little spin-offs. And then,
they did the Crystal Chronicles remaster.
The Crystal Chronicles.
Final Fantasy 12
Yes.
game?
And then that Chocobo game.
Oh, yeah.
And then the World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like they just threw all this stuff, kept throwing all this stuff.
Yeah, it's just boom. And then eventually they put Final Fantasy 8 on there too. It's like,
okay. Like, it's like, come on, keep at it. Let's go, Square. Let's go. I'm ready for it. And everyone should experience these games. They're fun. And that's why I was happy for Xbox players. Like, I don't get this whole like, ooh, why is it coming to this thing? I'm like, no. More people playing these games is a good thing. That's never a bad thing. Because then it means they get more money. More money means more games means I'm happy.
yeah.
Like, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I was not, and 2020.
Yeah.
Like, talk about like a curveball. People were not expecting.
Yeah.
Like when we got like the Remind DLC, we were expecting maybe at most a year or two until we saw another Kingdom Hearts game. Not like this immediately, practically.
Yeah, we knew it would be a spin-off. It wouldn't be Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, it was going to be something midquel, prequel, spin-off, maybe some more stuff.
Well, it's going to be a midquel and a prequel, considering the fact that we're seeing stuff that happened before Kingdom Hearts 1 with Princess Terranor. So,
but it's like in 2020, just like Nomura's coming in to save the year 2020 from all the crap that's happened at the beginning. Well, then again, it didn't start off too bad. We got Remind.
That is true.
But again, we just got Remind at the beginning of the year. And suddenly it's like, oh, by the way, it is probably going to be near the end of the year where we're going to get this. But still, what a curveball.
Which means they've been working on this on the side, too. If it's coming out this year.
Well, it makes sense it's coming so quickly because they are using a lot of the stuff from, it looks like, the remix of Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff. Like its graphics, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine if they use those because of Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep, I do think still hold up.
Well, yeah, and even if these are, lower, the older models, it's like, yeah, but, it's nice because they already remade them.
And it's nostalgic, actually, to kind of see this again.
Well, and it fits because if we're referencing stuff from the older games, let's use older models.
Yeah. But it just still cracks me up because of it's like Haley Joel Osment is like, you're never gonna get Kingdom Hearts 1 Haley Joel Osment voice again because of soon as he hit puberty.
Yeah.
So you'll always see Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora like for like Rechain of Memories and Coded
And he's got his
and
Kingdom
Dream
Hearts
Drop
2
Distance,
voice.
but he's got his Kingdom Hearts 2 voice because he can't help it, his balls dropped. like what are you gonna do? But it's just funny hearing that, like going back to seeing these old Sora, but he can't do it that anymore. He's a grown man. But I do like how that tied into Kingdom Hearts 2. Like how like when Sora wakes up and he's taller, he doesn't fit his old clothes anymore, and then suddenly you hear his voice.
Yeah.
It's like real life actually really like worked to the effect of that, because it's like, oh yeah, Sora did grow up, like even his actor grew up.
Too bad Rechain of Memories then kind of throws a wrench in that, because it's like seconds after Kingdom Hearts ends, it's like, oh, it's Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hey, you know, some people, their puberty hits them in their vocal cords before apparently it does in their growth spurt. It can happen.
It's Kingdom Hearts. This isn't the most unrealistic thing to happen, is it?
But we've been talking in circles.
Yeah. I think we've gone over a lot of the stuff, you know, from this, because we only got little bits in terms of like story and little hints at stuff, but we know Kyrie's going to be a major focus.
Which is the most important part.
Which is the most important part, because Kyrie deserves to have...
We love you, Kyrie.
Yeah. And...
Screw the haters. We love you, Kyrie.
Well, and I like seeing, like, how we have, you know, Kyrie, you know, getting in on some more action.
I mean, because we got a little bit of that in Kingdom Hearts 2, but very little of it. But it was fine. She just barely got a Keyblade. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
And a little bit more in Kingdom Hearts 3, but that's okay. She's still a beginner. And then Remind added more, which was fantastic. I loved it.
Well, and they even expanded on like when she was fighting. She actually got to fight Xemnas.
Yeah, it was great.
Actually got to fight him, and then we got to fight Xehanort as her. I know when that option came up.
Yeah,
for players,
together.
I was just like, nope, Kyrie. I was hitting that key.
Well, and I was telling him, I said, you have the option to either fight as Sora or fight as like one of the other characters, either like Mickey or Riku or Roxas or something like that. And I told him, if you want to make the boss fights more challenging, because I played Remind before he did. Just so when we played it together, just so that way, because if I'm not, I'll play with him, but I'm not gonna wait. It's Kingdom Hearts, so I'm just like, I've been a fan log, I'm not waiting. I just won't tell you any spoilers. But I'm just like, no, if you want to make the boss fights more challenging, don't pick Sora, because they're not gonna have all the customization abilities and stuff like that that you've added to Sora throughout the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 3. They're not going to have all the items customization. They're not going to have the Keyblade customizations. So, like, if you want to make a boss fight really challenging, don't play as Sora. And it was challenging to play as Kyrie, but at the same time, it was fun.
Well, and especially because, I'm so happy is that her style also adds in a little bit of stuff similar to the Ghost Drive abilities that Aqua has in Birth by Sleep. And I've been wanting that. She already takes a lot after Aqua in many ways. I'm like, I want her to fight like Aqua too. And
I do like how a lot of the way she fights too. Not all of it, but like in her initial stance and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very similar to Sora's.
Yes, it's like, which makes sense. She's grew up watching Sora and Riku like always constantly sparring with each other. So of course she would mimic that. And then I do like how one of her special abilities is similar to an ability that Axel does in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, you know, that explosion, but instead of explosion of fire, it's explosion of light. And I'm like, and it makes sense. She was training with Axel in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I like that. Like, she's taking parts of, like, people, like, because she would have also watched Aqua fight when Aqua was defending her as a little girl. And so, like, that makes sense. Like, she's taking, like, all these aspects of people she's watched fight.
Yeah, like this fighting stance, this is Sora's. She took this from Sora.
And it's just like, I love that. And I like how, like she's adapting it and applying that to her own. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Oh, I'm so happy.
I don't normally play rhythm games, but I'm playing this rhythm game because...
Absolutely. And Nomura's just like, it's his revenge. He's like, you all made fun of Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, joke's on you!
Or the,
An entire game.
Or what was the,
Oh gosh, yes, in Dream Drop Distance.
Or no, I was thinking of in Birth by Sleep.
Oh yeah, that too.
The triplets.
Yes, especially that.
The ice cream one.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of something else from Dream Drop Distance. Never mind. I've only played Dream Drop Distance twice. Once when I played it the first time, and then with you whenever we were playing it on
the
PS4.
Yeah, on the 2.8 collection.
But oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Sorry, my memories are a little jumbled. Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait because I know we're gonna get just a huge influx because HMK was already going in with the theories, like he still had been going in with so many theories after Remind, like to this day, like still theory after theory after theory after theory, and then this drops. So I'm like, he was trying to slowly ease off on it and start going into covering other content.
The ride does not stop.
And it just does not stop. And then it's just like this drops on us. And then it's just like, oh, go subscribe to HMK if you were a Kingdom Hearts fan, or a Zelda fan. He's does a lot of great Zelda theories and Kingdom Hearts theories. And even ones I don't agree with, I always love to hear what he has to say. Because it's always interesting and fascinating. And he really pays attention to this stuff. The reason he wanted to do this video was because you were so dissatisfied with not many.
Yeah. Because I was seeing some other people were doing analysis videos of the Melody of Memories trailer, and I'm like, a lot of them are just kind of, it looks like it's another Kingdom Hearts game. Like, no duh. Like
it's not very in depth.
No.
And that's what I said. Like once you go and you watch HMK and Skyward Wing, but sorry Skyward Wing, you're cool, but I prefer HMK. but they both do. Like Skyward Wing's cool too. No, I'm just kidding. But I love the way HMK does the videos and go watch him talking about because he does a reaction video of Melody of Memories after you watch this video. He goes really in depth about it, and he's really, and he always does this with his reaction videos. It's always twice as long as the actual video itself, because if he goes back and he watches the trailer again and then starts to talk about looking at stuff frame by frame, and then he quickly on the spot tries to theorize what's happening, what is he seeing.
Yeah.
And I like that. I wish more people did that. And some channels do, but and then there's of course the channels that instead of a reaction they're like, no, we're gonna do a frame by frame analysis. But there's not enough of that right now, strangely enough, with this. And maybe because of the whole beginning of it is just oh look,
it's a rhythm game.
Well, not just that, because first it's we're announcing finally the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack.
Oh yeah, because you got you got the Union Cross Dark Road, and then you've got the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack.
And it's just finally. and I wonder if that I don't know if some people stopped paying attention halfway through because of that.
Because you got this whole thing, and
there's this amazing intro.
Yeah, this intro.
And just seeing you see all these cutscenes from all the different games and the secret movies, and that's so good. I love it.
Yeah, and then you.
And then it goes immediately.
And you got Yozoro right here.
Yeah, I know, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Everything about it is so good. See, look, because Sora and Yozoro are right there, and the two.
Well, yeah, and then you saw.
Oh, look, I think that's Riku, and then the Master of Masters.
Well, no. Let me go back a few frames because that was Gula.
Oh yeah, that's cool too. Well, look, there's Naminé, and
is that Aqua when she's holding Ben?
Yeah, that's from Birth by Sleep's opening. And there's Sora from Kingdom Hearts 1 right there.
Oh yeah.
And there's Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1 right there.
And then there's the other guy from the Foretellers.
Oh yeah. I think that's frick.
Is that the guy with the bear mask?
Yes.
The big guy.
Ursa. No, not Ursa. Frick. Dang it. Bear mask guy.
Yeah.
I remember Gula and Ava the most.
Yeah. But but it's interesting seeing Kingdom Hearts 2020, we're seeing some Foretellers and we're seeing Yozora.
Which makes sense. Because the way Kingdom Hearts 3 ends. I'm so hyped.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's they should, because I think maybe
look, Strelitzia.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's some people probably.
Oh, Lorium, yeah, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I admit, I kind of glazed over the beginning stuff too after that amazing intro. I'm not nearly as invested in the mobile stuff because it's mobile. That's why I want it like as an actual like game. That's why when I saw the back cover movie, I got so excited because just to see these characters looking like that, I'm like, oh yes, and like the full-on Kingdom shader 3D looks good. But I will admit, it is interesting. It is interesting to like see all this. But I wonder if maybe people just glazed over that.
Yeah, because then you have to go through over 3 minutes.
Yeah, because then
you have to go 3.5 minutes before you get
to Melody of Memories, and even then, it starts off as just this like cute little rhythm game, and then
oh yeah, because this is done in the style of the little chibis from the Final Fantasy rhythm game that they released a few years back. I think on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I was looking because I know some people noted this. They're like, yeah, because this is the cute style, and then it's just like, man, no, it's going to be this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and like it done more like in the Kingdom Hearts 2 Birth by Sleep graphics. Which is fine. That's fun.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, look at this fun little rhythm game. Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
And you don't think anything much of it. It just looks cute.
Yeah, and then that's.
And I'm like, but we should have known because if this is Nomura, he never does a spin-off. Like even the mobile game, he has to cram story into,
yeah.
Which of course they're taking forever to do, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's probably why I kind of checked out on that part because it's like.
Well, yeah, and and then you had this.
I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah, but then this part, then it's like zip, and then that's when you're watching the trailer.
Like, wait, what's going on?
You're like, wait, what's going on? And then it cuts to like Apprentice Terranor, and then I was like, what? And then it's like this, which is very clearly
it's Kairi.
The Kairi memory.
And then oh my goodness, and she's in the final world, and there's a cloak figure. Which cloak figure she talked to? Look, it's the crystal thing that Sora had to collect to save her. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then you see Kairi talking to the scientist bros, and then there's Riku and Kairi, and they're talking to all the stars. And then there's like a flashback of Sora when he was collecting the crystals, and then here's Kairi attacking the cloaked figure, and coming 2020 worldwide and on all the consoles.
Yeah, so and that's the thing. That's the part that got people invested, and I think a lot of people just didn't check out because you need to get to 3.5 minutes of the trailer before you get to Melody of Memory, which is why I think a lot of people just cut out the Melody of Memory part and they posted that separately because that's what a lot of people cared about the most because this is the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh, and HMK was actually the one who pointed this out on Twitter where he was like, Melody of Memory, MOM.
Yeah.
Master of Masters, MON. And he was just like, Nomura. And
it's music. Demix plays music. Stemix is the Master of Masters.
Yeah, I think people were tying it to that because of the whole
it's Demix time.
I love that crack theory of Demix is the Master of Masters. It cracks me up every time. Like we're just people are like, we will make this fit. Although if Nomura makes that actually true, I will die on the floor laughing. Weirder things have happened in Kingdom Hearts.
Because Zigbar turned out to be Lushu.
Turns out he's only half Lushu because he's half Xehanort.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, then that makes all of those scenes with Braig and Xehanort even funnier in hindsight from Birth by Sleep because you're like, Braig has been behind this and that's why he was just like, hey, can I see your Keyblade? And you're like,
that was his.
Oh, he wants to get the no-name Keyblade because
it was his.
It was the master. Yeah, he had
that. How did he lose that?
How did he lose it? How did it end up on the wall?
And why did he did he do the same thing that Xehanort did and he body jacked someone?
Yeah, did he body jack? Did he physically change his appearance?
Because that's the foretellers. They're just like, you look different.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness, there's so many.
Yeah.
I love how every time Nomura, he'll answer 2 questions, he's got 5 more questions that he will add just right around the corner. You keep thinking you're getting closure, and you do get some closure. And
but then you got new stuff.
But that's why I like it, because unlike some people who keep dangling and dangling, but they're keeping the answers away from you, and I'm like, no. He gradually answers your questions, as you keep going down the path, but he just adds more questions. But as you go down path, you're going to get those questions eventually answered too. But so it's just at least, even if you keep bringing up more questions and more mysteries, as long as you answer ones that you've already set up, I'm fine and it's not going to drive me up the wall pissed off. Like some series, Lost. But, this is so exciting. We needed this, and And people are just like, why are all these like game companies like shadow dropping like all these like these announcements, stuff like that? Well, it's because we don't have E3. Normally E3 would be here right now, and I'm sure this would be in an E3 like a Square Enix like conference.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. So they've just been shadow dropping announcements for like different games and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think like a Nintendo Direct was supposed to happen a couple months ago, but then because of everything going on, they were like, okay, now all of these announcements, like,
we'll just drop these announcements.
Yeah,
so
like the new Pokemon Snap game, they're just like they just dropped the trailer,
just casually just drop that. Like okay. Like cool, but you know what? I think in this day and age right now, considering everything that's been going on, especially with what was it Critical Drink would say? A certain virus of an unknown origin. Those YouTube bots. We kind of need this right now with everything the way that it has been in the world. We need this, and this was a perfect opportunity to do this, and in this way.
Yeah, we've been getting a consistent stream of like exciting announcements. So it's like, yeah, I'm hyped. I like this.
It's great. It's wonderful. It makes me happy. Like we need happiness in this world. Games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
As the great Reggie says, if it's not fun,
why bother?
Yeah, like why bother? And this actually looks like it'll be kind of fun. Like I said, I'm not the biggest person on rhythm games, but I'll enjoy the occasional like rhythm game here and there. Like I actually didn't hate Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 2. I
thought it was alright.
I don't think they should have split it up in so many segments. Like where you're just like, oh, you need to obtain this thing, and then you go back, and then you could do this, and you could do that, and you could do that, stuff like that. If they did it, I think they were trying to do it like, like Winnie the Pooh. The problem is they also did that with Winnie the Pooh in Kingdom Hearts 2, so it was just like,
Yeah.
I think that you should have done like one or the other, like instead, like because I actually didn't mind it. Like it wasn't bad. But I get why it annoyed people, because especially when the rest of the game was so different, and probably didn't help that in Kingdom Hearts 1 you actually could explore Atlantica and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that might be why it gets a bad rep, but I actually don't think it's that bad. And I enjoyed the Persona rhythm games. And
yeah, especially Persona 4 Dancing had an actual story going on too that acted as a sequel to, even technically a sequel to the Arena games, but very much as a sequel picking up from like the epilogue.
And I think even though they're just for fun, the Persona 3 and the Persona 5 dancing games, they are fun. Like I enjoy it. It's cute. You get to just joke along with some fun music. And there are other rhythm games. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. My brain is kaput. But
I remember playing Samba de Amigo.
But this Kingdom Hearts is great music.
Oh yeah, and that's why they were like, we have 140 songs.
Like that's like first off like fantastic. Like make use of that, and I like how the gummy ships like this thing. It's literally Kingdom Hearts 2's version. Like how you could literally like. I really did not like the gummy ship stuff in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh.
It really soured me. And even though I like a lot of the stuff they did in Kingdom Hearts 2, I still think they needed to refine the controls a little bit more. I actually preferred what Kingdom Hearts 2 did, where it's just like once you unlock that world, you can just go to that world.
Yeah, you don't have to constantly redo those levels.
Yeah. And now Kingdom Hearts 3 was pretty smart too, because it's just like you can also go to places as well. It's like, but if you wanted to explore more, like
they had places you can really explore and fly around.
And that was cool, and it actually felt like you were actually like traveling through space.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But I know I also have such an attachment to Kingdom Hearts 2. Like I have a very strong attachment to it. So whenever I saw this, and it was literally like ripped from like the way they do it in Kingdom Hearts 2, it made me so happy. I was just like, oh. Kingdom Hearts 2, you're doing it like that. That makes me happy because I loved Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like when it is still to this day one of my favorite all-time video games. I love it to death. And so there's a lot of elements that they're obviously tying back into, and that's what's great about Kingdom Hearts. It never forgets its past.
Nomura won't let you.
He won't let you. Even if you've never played some of the games, he refuses. He's like, fine, I will give you full context of this. Whether it's like you read journals or if I attach like what they did in Dream Drop Distance, where it's just like, here, I'll give you a summarization of this entire game that you're about to see cutscenes in Dream Drop Distance that will be referencing characters from this game.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you will know everything, and I will make certain you do. But I like that. Kingdom Hearts feels like it's constantly celebrating its progress of how it keeps moving forward. But it never forgets where everything began. And tying it all together, it's almost like it's all connected. It's a fantastic series. I know everybody jokes about how it's like ridiculous and convoluted and over the top. And yes, in some aspects it absolutely is. You're never going to hear a Kingdom Hearts fan that's really going to deny that. Like, because he's even like before he even got into Kingdom Hearts was just like, yeah, isn't it kind of like off the walls bonkers sometimes? I'm like, yeah, it is, but I love it. I don't care. And when I tried explaining stuff to him about Kingdom Hearts, like, I could see his eyes glazing over, like, I don't know what the F you're talking about. Like, I sounded like one of those conspiracy, like, you were just referencing it, like, with, like, the wall.
Pepe Sylvia!
I know that's what I know that's what I sounded like. I was trying to explain to him the concept of Ventus and Roxas and Xion and Naminé and Vanitas and why they all looked the way they did, and I could see his brain going, you are making absolutely no sense. I'm like, if you played the games, trust me, what I'm saying would make sense.
Well, and having played the games, it actually does make sense. It's really not that complicated once you actually play the game.
Yeah, like, if you're an outsider, sure, it's confusing. But once you actually play the game, then it's like the games actually do try to explain it. And I love this series. I love this series to death. And I am happy how far it's come. I am happy that we're getting a new game so soon, and they're not going to make us just stew here after Remind. They're going to actually give us a little bit more. And going back to, I think he's full on MCUing this. Since he's announced his own phase 2 and there's going to be a bunch of other games, I'm pretty sure it is going to be almost kind of like the MCU, where there's going to be a couple of more side games that are going to then tie into a Kingdom Hearts 4, which is going to be like its Avengers. So maybe
this is an Avengers level threat.
I really think that. Now, HMK had a theory that would be really cool, as if all the side games is we still haven't saved Sora yet, and that's going to be leading into Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
And so instead we get more games about all these other characters. And I wouldn't mind that. At the same time, I also wouldn't mind if it did in between Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3, where it's it took only really one game in between until we finally got to Sora again. And even then, Kingdom Hearts 2 left you dangling for depending on how long you were playing as Roxas. For other people, it could have been an hour if they were really blitzing through it. For me, because I just got so obsessed with playing a lot of those, the jobs, it was more 2 hours, and I kept going back and
I spent 3 hours as Roxas, and I spent a good amount of that on the poster job.
The poster, or hitting the ball, or the
struggle,
the skateboarding.
Yeah,
oh my
the skateboarding was fun.
I loved it.
Where's our skateboarding game, Kingdom Hearts game, Nomura?
Yes, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, but Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, why not? Roxas's game is literally going to be a sports game. Oh man. You know what? Go for it. Kingdom Hearts has done a lot of weird things.
Nomura could make it work.
He can't make anything work. He's a crazy madman. But yeah, we're talking in circles, but I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. And that was talking about Melody of Memories for about half of that.
I can't wait. It looks really cool. But again, I actually haven't watched any of Skyrim's videos yet. I'm pretty sure he's done some videos on this. I actually don't follow him. I only sometimes look him up for just reaction videos, just because I only know of him because of HMK, because they're buddies. But I definitely would recommend watch any of HMK's videos about Melody of Memories, because he really goes full on depth with this. And I haven't caught up on his live streams. I know on Twitch he does live streams where he really likes to talk about stuff. He calls his own streams Into the Fifth Dimension. and like where he really goes in depth about Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that, and it's like all wild and stuff like that, and I really need to catch up on it. I'm so behind on so many like people that I watch who stream, but like he like as he jokes and like, like Aaron's like the expert, and I'm like no, this guy is the expert. Like he really goes in depth into this stuff, and a lot of stuff that I had trouble with understanding, like if something didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, I'm sure there's an explanation for it. I just probably missed something, because Kingdom Hearts is also likes to be so subtle, because it does gives you answers everywhere. You just have to find them, like in the journal reports. Like
Yeah.
if you it'll have an answer for it. You have to hunt these reports down though. Like if you want to know more stuff, like the game actively encourages you to try to find out more and more of its mysteries, so which encourages you to play more and more and try to 100% them. And that's why I love watching HMK, because if he points all this stuff out that I would have missed after a first or second playthrough, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool, I didn't know that. And like, watch him, because if he's in depth on this stuff, he knows his Kingdom Hearts. I know Kingdom Hearts. He lives Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I think that was about it. You know, glad to put out more.
We're just a couple of Kingdom Hearts nerds rambling about this. I'm so happy to drag you into this fandom.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you for watching.